Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Research. This is chapter 6. And this chapter, let's talk about the secondary data research in a digital age that we're in. Okay? So after this chapter, you should be able to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using secondary data. Okay? Understand the common objectives addressed by secondary data, and be able to identify various internal and proprietary sources of secondary data, and give examples of various external sources of secondary data, okay? And the impact of single source data and globalization on big data research, big data search, research, sorry, research. All right, let's see, okay? Marketing researchers are almost always, working under budget constraints, as you can imagine. Yeah, nobody has that unlimited budget to work on a project. Okay, if the data for a given research question already exists, right, it can save both time and money. Right, that would be bad. I mean, that'd be good, right? Wouldn't that be nice if someone already has done the research and the data is something you can use for your project? Okay? This chapter focuses on the instances where the data may indeed already exist in some usable format. Okay? Using secondary data in marketing research. Right? Secondary data. What is secondary data? Primary data, the data you collect, right? Secondary data, for your group project, as I indicated earlier, you're going to collect primary data. Okay. Now let's talk about the secondary data. Okay? What's secondary data? That's data gathered and recorded by someone else prior to and for a purpose other than your current project. Somebody else did it before. Okay? So there are advantages of using secondary data. It's available, okay? It's faster and less expensive than acquiring primary data. You can see, requires no access to subjects. When we say subjects, we mean respondents, people, okay? Subjects, okay? And it's inexpensive. Sometimes so inexpensive is free, okay? And it may provide information otherwise not accessible. So good things about secondary data. Okay? But there are disadvantages of secondary data. Okay? The first one is uncertain accuracy. Okay? You didn't collect it. Right? You collected, you know how accurate your data is. But if somebody else collected, you're not sure about the accuracy. If they did have the proper training or good experience, a good way in following the procedures, you know nothing about it, right? And data may not be consistent with what you need. Okay, that's another problem. And it could be inappropriate units of measurement. Units of measurement inappropriate. What do you mean by that? Okay, let's say you want to study consumer data, individual consumer data, right? You study consumer behavior. And then, but the data you have is the family data. Right? Family data, of course, is the family income is not the same as personal income. Family consumption is not the same as personal consumption, right? So the units of measurement for the secondary data might be family, and whereas for your data or for your research, you need individual. So the units may be inappropriate. Time period may be inappropriate. It's outdated, just too old. Maybe something like 10 years old, it may not be that relevant anymore. Okay? So how do you decide if you want to use or not use secondary data? Okay? First, you can start with this a bunch of questions here. Okay, you can ask data content can help answer the research question or not. If yes, and then you ask the next question: data population relevant? You may be serving, say, a certain group or certain people, certain population, and did the second data survey the same group or your intended group, and data are timely. Okay, then you go ahead and move on. Units for measurement match research question. Perfect. Okay. Data source is trustworthy. Good. Data methodology adequately described. You know how data collected. Okay. Good. Data are reliable and valid. Then you can go. Okay. So you should ask yourself these questions here. Data content, if not relevant to the research question, okay, you probably should stop. Okay. If the population does not match, you probably should stop. If data is out of date, right? If data is out of date, but it can be adjusted. If it can be adjusted, you might go, right? If not, you're not. It's unit measurement differ. Unit measure differ from research question. If not, can it be adjusted? If yes, you might still be able to use it. If not, no. Data source is dubious, you can use it. Data methodology details not available. You don't know how they did it, how they collected, can use it. Okay? And reliability and validity cannot be determined or not acceptable. Then you cannot use it. You stop from here. Okay? You can use this flow chart to determine if you can and want to use secondary data. Okay? Using secondary data in marketing research, right? You need measurement. You need measurement. Right? Data conversion, or we call data transformation, is the process of changing the original form of data to a format suitable to achieve the research objective. Okay? You can consider doing that. For example, if you have, say, family income data, you want to convert to individual consumer data, right? We know the average size of family, say, is 3. Then you probably can divide that and come up with a number, or divide a certain factor to come up with the individual income number. Okay? Reliability and validity issue, cross-check can do a cross-check. That's a comparison of data from one source with data from another source to determine the similarity of independent projects. You can cross-check it. Okay? And so what are the common objectives of secondary data studies? Okay? And you can use secondary data studies to do fact-finding, identify, say, like web traffic, okay, consumption patterns, and tracking trends. Okay, you can do that. You can use secondary data to build models, model building. Okay, you can use that to forecast market potential, sales in a time period, selecting locations, retail locations, determining relationship with the sales. You can do that. Okay? You can use secondary data for database marketing. You can develop prospect lists of prospects to visit, to call upon, predicting future customer behavior, and do data mining. Okay? That's what we can do with the secondary data. Typical objectives of secondary data in research designs. Fact-finding basically is just identification of consumer behavior for a product category. Okay? Trend analysis. What is in trend? What's trendy thing that's going on? Okay? Market tracking, and observation and analysis of trends in industry volume and brand share over time. Yeah, what's your share of your brand, your market share, right? Or industry volume. Is the industry going up or down, or decline. Okay, environmental scanning. Okay, environmental scanning, basically gathering information and finding fact that is designed to detect indications of environmental change in the initial stages of development. Okay? Model building, a mathematical representation of the relationship between two or more variables. Using secondary data, you can build your model, your theory. You can use that to estimate market potential for geographical areas. Right? What is the market potential? How many units or how much in dollar sales do you expect to sell in the next quarter or year? You can use that to forecast sales for your team, for your region, for the product line, for the type of customer you want trying to reach. And analysis of trade area and sites. Trade areas, you can do analysis on that, and sales for retail sites. Sites analysis techniques uses secondary data to select the best location for retail or wholesale operations. Where do you want to build your next store? Where do you want to build your next store? Like the warehouse, next wholesale operation or retail operation. You can use index of retail saturation. Index of retail saturation that describes the relationship between retail demand and supply to see if how high of a saturation, what degree of saturation the retailing in this area has reached, to determine for yourself if you should step in or join or operate in that area, whereas there might be already a high level of saturation of retail outlets. Okay, and you can use that for advertising response studies. Okay, this example showing some of the secondary data, interesting secondary data. That's the market potential for select geographic areas by country. The countries you're looking: Czech Republic, Germany, Australia, US, Brazil, and China. Okay? This is old data though, 2015. Right? When you look at people in thousands, so Czech Republic have 10,000, that's 10 million people. Germany 81, Australia 22, US 322 million, Brazil 200 million, and China 1.4 billion. Now the number could be a problem nowadays, right? If you have been following the news. If you look at the annual volume consumed in liters of beer, this is beer consumption area data. You can see that's the annual volume consumed in liters, okay? And then this annual per capita beer consumption in liters, okay? I think this one is probably in the thousands or millions of it. It has to be thousand. I know it's thousands, millions. I forgot. Yeah, I have to look at it. Okay, and then you can see per capita beer consumption in Czech Republic. Wow, 182 liters per person per year. Do you drink that much beer? I don't. I don't like beer. I don't drink beer. I don't use alcohol actually. Yeah. Germany 100 liters per year per person. Right? U.S. not too bad, 75. Right? China only 32. Okay? Then you can use this to compare the share of market, worldwide market. Okay? Which country has the highest share of your worldwide market? Even though the United States, Americans are not drinking that much, only 75 compared with that of 182 by Czechs. But our share of market, worldwide market, is 0.13, right? Or 13%. We consume 13% of the world beers in the world, right? Whereas Czech Republic, they drink a lot per person, but it's only like 1%. Okay, so if you're a beer manufacturer, you consider where to go for your next beer factory, right? As a matter of fact, I once led a group of students of ours, to have a study, study abroad in Europe. In 1 year, we went to Germany and Czech Republic and Austria. I remember in Czech Republic, we went to the Pilsner. If you know beer, you know Pilsner beer. We actually went to a Pilsner brewery, yeah, and they got free beer to try, but I didn't try anything. It was fun to watch how golden beer is actually brewed, from barley to all the way to the end. Okay? All right, that's secondary data on beer consumption, market share of different countries of the world. Okay? This is secondary data for Major League baseball ticket prices. Let's look at the Major League Baseball ticket prices. The secondary data. The year 1996 to 2014. Okay? What happens over the 96, almost 20 years? Okay? You look at average ticket price, $11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Ooh, it's going up, right? Going up all the way up to 22, 25, 26, 27, 20. Now it's around $27, right? 11, 20 to almost $30, almost 3 times, right? As before. And if you look at percentage change from previous year, it increased in double digits in 97, 98, 2000, 2001. There's a big drop in 2002. You wonder why, huh? Why is there a big drop in Major League Baseball ticket price in 2002? It's worth looking into. And then again, it's growing up slowly, and then the rapid increase to double-digit increase to 12%. Okay? And if you look at this percentage change year to year, you can see this up and downs and up and down, very sharp up and downs, right? It's hard to grasp the overall trend. So what should you do? One method you can use to smooth it out, to see the trend nicely, more easily, right? Is using what we call the moving average. Moving average. In this case, we use a 3-year moving average. 3-year moving average. How is that calculated? If this is, say, for example, 1996, compared with 1995, of course, right, the year before, the increase is 5.2%. But the 3-year moving average is 3.5. How is that 3.5 calculated? You actually take this year, 5.2, plus the year before, plus the year before that. So 3 years. You got percentage change number. You average them. 3-year average. That's how you got 3.5%. Okay. I didn't do that. I think if you do that, we'll see. If you calculate this one, for example, to 1998, this is the average of the first 3 years. I mean, not 3 years. Of the 3 years, 96, 97, and 98. And this one in 1999, 10%, is an average of 10.4, 10, and 9.7. You could keep going like that. So you always take the nearest past 3 years to calculate. So it's moving, right? So they always take the nearest one. So that the 3 years you choose is moving, and it's the averaging, right? It's a 3-year averaging. We call 3-year moving average. If you do the 3-year moving average, you can see that they're all positive, right? And there's not big up and downs. The curve, the trend, they seem to be, instead of sharp changes, you can get smoothed out a little bit, right? Overall, there's still an increase, you can see, right? The increase is higher in the late 90s. And then, other than that, it's still increasing, but not as much, okay? That's how you can interpret the data. That's basically what it is. This, you can use secondary data as a data mining tool to analyze population densities or traffic patterns. Okay, and this is the legend here. This is 2010 census results from United States, for U.S. and Puerto Rico. Okay, it's population density by county or county equivalent. Okay, and this is Alaska. This is Hawaii. Okay, this is continental United States. We are here, right here. This is South Carolina. We are here. Aiken, South Carolina, right here. Actually, my home is in Atlanta suburbs, somewhere over here. Okay, but anyway, so you can see this legend shows that the darker blue shows the population per square mile, 2,000 to 69,000. Right, 69,000 square miles, and square miles. And then this is a lighter blue, lighter yellow is less populated. So where do you see? Where are we? Where are Americans living? Where do we live? Okay? You can see some refresh your memory on your geography, right? National geography, right? You should see something here. Where's this area here? This dark red, dark blue here. Los Angeles, right? This one here, San Francisco, right? Over here, Seattle, Washington. What about this here? Chicago, Illinois, right? And they're here, Atlanta, Georgia. South Carolina, you see this here, a little bit darker here, Columbia, right? Over there, you have New York, Boston, Philadelphia, the major metropolitan area here. So if you look at the U.S. population overall, where do we live? Where do we stay? We stay mostly in the eastern seaboard, right? In the eastern states here, and along the coastal Atlantic and along the Pacific. Okay? We have fewer Americans living in the mountains areas. Okay, so that's from the secondary data. Data mining. What is data mining? It's going to be your test. Okay, data mining is the use of powerful computers to dig through volumes of data, lots of data, right? To discover patterns about an organization's customers and products. Okay, let's see your Walmart, right? You have tons of scanner data, volumes of data. Use a powerful computer. You dig through that data to find out about the customer's preferences, the product preferences, etc. That's data mining. Okay, you can apply to many different forms of analysis. You can use neural network. Use a form of artificial intelligence in which computer is programmed to mimic the way that human brains process information. Okay? Data mining, there is a very useful analysis called market basket analysis. Remember that, right? It's going to be in your test. Market basket analysis. That's a form of data mining that analyzes anonymous point of sales transaction databases to identify coinciding purchases or relationships between products purchased and other retail shopping information. That is called market basket analysis, right? Market, the overall market, right? Basket, consumer shopping, retailing information. Okay? You can use the data mining to do customer discovery, right? Involves, mining data to look for patterns in identifying who is likely to be a valuable customer of yours. Okay? And you can use data marketing. You can use database to do marketing and the customer relationship management. Yeah. Database marketing is a use of customer relationship management software, or CRM, customer relationship management software, to promote one-to-one relationship with customers and create precisely targeted promotions. Right? So because you know the customers already, right? You know the customers already. You can find the best, promotions, towards those people, those target audience. Okay? Effective database marketing requires a vast amounts of secondary data to be integrated into the CRM system. Okay? The better, the larger the quantity of data, the more accurate your result can be. Okay? Now, where do we get secondary data? Right? What about the internal secondary data? There are secondary data that's from inside your company, right? Inside the company, yeah. Source of internal company data. Internal data, data that originate in the organization, within the organization. It represents events recorded by or generated by the organization. Okay, that's proprietary data is secondary data owned and controlled by your company. That's proprietary data. Okay? Internal and proprietary data, like sales invoices. You're in sales, you know, your sales has sent invoices out to customers to bill the customer for the sales they generated. Okay, salespeople's call reports. The call report, the call in this case is not a telephone call. Okay, it's a visit. Okay, it's a visit of your customer, and the report after that is called call report. Customer complaints. Yeah, treat your customer complaints as something valuable because they bother to tell you their sorrow, and they can give you the complaints. It's thing that you can use, take good use of, to improve yourself. Okay, don't treat that as something annoying. Okay, service records. Service records. Warranty card returns. Ah, you probably bought the new appliance or new electronics. You filled up that warranty card, hoping, oh, okay, I register my product with you, so in case there's a problem, something wrong with my product, I can go and ask you to ask for a refund, repair, or do whatever, right? But that warranty card actually provides great information to business managers, to marketers, okay? Product returns, etc. Okay? With enterprise search, you can focus on data within the company's internal network. You can use open source innovation. Okay? Effort involves allowing other firms real-time access to otherwise proprietary data within the enterprise in an effort to expand the solution and developing innovations. Okay? External secondary data sources. External data. Secondary data from external sources. External data are facts observed, recorded by an entity other than your own company. Right? That's external. Right? Information as a product and its distribution, you can go to libraries, go to internet, go to vendors, go to producers such as periodicals, magazines, government, media, trade associations, and commercial sources to get those kind of data. Okay. This table 6.6 shows the selected internet sources for secondary data. It's very helpful. You know, use that, okay, for your project, for your future, whatever. You know, U.S. Census Bureau. Okay, then USCensus.gov, CIA Factbook. Actually, CIA has a profile of over 250 countries, providing descriptive statistics of population, economy, commerce, geography, religion, history, and much more. You'd be surprised. They done really good job, you know, and updated, and you know, always updated. Interesting place to look at for data. Fed stats, the federal government stat, right? Data monitors, large collection of current business reports. Advertising age, media source for advertising industry news and access. YouTube, yeah, YouTube, right? Actually, this lecture, I actually put it on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel. Kantar Media, source focusing on integrated global media industry. Okay? There's a European Union Commission, okay, data. There's a Wall Street Journal online. The Harvard Business School databases. It's not a database per se, but like in most libraries, link lots of sources of information. The ACSI, okay, Quando, okay, it's a venture launched by a Canadian technology company. There's Chinability, yeah, some Chinese economic business data. Okay. Commercial sources, they are commercial sources of secondary data. There's a market share data, okay, by trade unions, consumer attitudes and public opinions research data, okay, consumption and purchase behavior data. There's advertising research data, right? Consumer data, consumer panel data, right? All information left behind online intentionally or unintentionally. You left behind you after you shop online, unintentionally or intentionally, that becomes consumer data, okay? And that includes social network posts, consumer feedback on sites like TripAdvisor, and much more, okay? Commercial sources. Single source and global research data. Single source data integrated information. There's a diverse types of data offered by a single company, a single source, usually integrated on the basis of a common variable. Okay? Government agencies, global secondary data has the same limitation as domestic secondary data. The other governments may be doing much worse than U.S. government, okay, in assuring data accuracy. Okay. Additional pitfalls of global secondary data: unavailability in some countries, their questionable accuracy because of political influences, etc. You also on your lookout. Okay, watch out. CIA World Factbook and National Trade Data Bank are useful to overseas marketing. You want to overseas marketing, you want to consider those numbers, those data from government agencies. Okay. And here are the website of those in different countries. Okay, you can take a look. And finally, again, on the group project, right? What do I need you to do? Find the industry, find a business, find a company, try to identify some problem, right? And try to identify a business decision issue. You need to make a business decision, but you're not sure how to do that or whether to proceed with it or not. Then you need to do research. Then you come up with a research question. Then in the research question, then you of course, then you have research question. Then you can establish your research objective. The objective is to do certain things to solve that problem, to answer that question. Okay. Again, I already post this on announcement on Blackboard. Please gather together as a group to work on this. Right. The remainder, research design, sampling, collection, analysis, we work on this as we go. Okay. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you. I will see you next time. Bye.